When using the pen tool to create a path that we can then convert to a selection, we're going to be using all of our modifier keys in order to create this path. We choose a spot to start, and we can begin by clicking and then clicking and dragging to start creating our path around whatever it is that we're wanting to eventually convert into a selection. Now, whenever I need to change the direction of a handle, I can hold down my Option key and I can click and move this handle independently. That will change the direction of the next path. And I can do this all the way around my image as I'm drawing. This will take some practice, but what we can do is click and set a point, and when we know we need to change the direction of that handle, we hold down our Option key, and that changes the direction of our path. Now I'm going to pretend like I'm finished with this. This is my completed path. It's a closed path. Each of these anchor points can be manipulated using the Direct Selection tool. The Direct Selection tool allows me to select anchor points. I can then do a couple of different things. I can manipulate its handles. You see how it's changing the direction of the path between this anchor point and this anchor point, but also this anchor point and this anchor point when I use my Direct Selection tool. Now, the modifier key we looked at earlier was the Convert Point tool, which was this one right here. This is where it is in the toolbar. It's under the pen tool. We access that when we're using our pen tool by holding down the Option key. So that just keeps us from having to go back to it here in the toolbar. And when we use that Convert Anchor Point tool or Convert Point tool, you'll see that it allows me to move the handle independently. So there are a lot of different ways that you can draw with a pen tool. You can change the direction of the path as you're drawing, or you can wait until after you've drawn and set all of your anchor points, and then you can manually go in and change the direction or the length or whatever of each of these paths. Now, while you have the pen tool selected, the two modifier keys that are going to be really, really important, there's actually three. The Shift key allows you to draw straight paths. We looked at that in the last video. Don't delete that. The Command key is the shortcut key or the modifier key to access the Direct Selection tool. This is when the pen tool is selected. So you can hold down the Command key. I still have the Command key held down. It's allowing me to access my Direct Selection tool, which will allow me to move my anchor points around, manipulate my handles or whatnot. And then the Option key, which is direct access to the Convert Point tool. With the pen tool accessed, we can hover over a path that we've created and we can set new anchor points, which can be manipulated. We can hover over an existing anchor point and we can delete that anchor point. Once we've created our path using our pen tool, there are a couple of ways that we can convert that path into a selection, which is what we'll be doing a lot this semester. So when we're finished, what we'll do is we'll take our path. This path is located inside of the Paths panel. And there are a couple of ways that we can do this. We can go to the Path panel, click on the Work Path, and click on this option right here, which will convert our path into a selection. That's a marching ant selection. That selection can then be saved. Another way to do this is with the pen tool access. You can right click on your path and you can click Make Selection and it will create a selection. That selection again then can be saved.